supposedly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you send someone to my house? What's the problem? My ex-husband has just broken into the house and he's ranting and raving outside of the front yard. Has he been drinking or anything? Quote, no, but he's crazy. Okay. For someone to be married to someone, then divorce them, and call them crazy...
I don't think they were divorced at that point.
My ex-husband. She said my ex-husband.
I think they're separate.
Whether it was final, she called him his ex-husband. Now, whether you're saying divorce is a matter of paperwork or you're saying a divorce is a matter of mind frame...
Mind frame?
I think is mind frame.
Paperwork, it becomes a divorce. Mind frame is separation.
Okay. That's semantics. That's apples and oranges. I'm just saying. She clearly referred to him as an ex-husband as if to show that she's... Whether she tried to show it or not, she's showing that she's physically and emotionally removed from him as a husband.
Okay.
You ever been driving along and think to yourself, God, I hate this job. You already have decided in your mind to get a new job. You're removed from that job. You're not going to do the same job you used to. It's the same thing. She was already with somebody else at that point. I don't know if it was old Mr. Goldman, but...
That's the other weird thing, is why did, what restaurant sends their own employee to bring back an item to a customer?
Elaborate.
Goldman...
For the people that don't know the story. What's the whole basis of the story? Not necessarily, he was in the tracksuit and the Bronco. What happened before?
Okay, so
Did
before...
she cheat on him or something? Did she...
No. It was, so what happened, what that whole 911 call... by O.J. Simpson, so again, we don't know if this is true or not.
Yeah.
But he was saying he went over there that night because he learned about what she became. Like, who she was hanging out with.
She was
hoeing, she was hanging out with the wrong kind of people, like with cocaine, everything like that, which leads to the possible theory, which Johnny Cochran brought up, about the Columbia necktie. Because at that time, the Colombians were extremely, as they still are now, big with the cocaine.
Okay.
And as her friend, I don't know what the book's called, I can't remember, but talked about how they would literally do lines of cocaine all the time.
Nicole.
Yes.
Okay.
So, that's kind of how that fight started, because he's like, I don't want you to be...
Though.
Yeah,
Characterization, that's character...
You can't... Well, again, it's not defamation because she couldn't prove it. She was already dead.
I'm saying in Johnny Cochran's case.
What's defamation?
That's clear textbook trying to tear down the victim.
Well, I mean, if she's doing it makes sense.
Women wear shirts with their chest hanging out. They're also going to get raped. It's the most ridiculous
thing. Let's go back to the call. Let's go back to the call. We're getting off topic.
Go for it.
So that's what that whole thing was about. That's why he was there yelling. Mm-hmm. And if this is true, honestly, I would have been pissed too.
Murderous pissed? Beating pissed? Murderous?
Like, yelling pissed.
Okay.
If I had an ex-wife, again, I don't like doing this, but...
Hypotheticals, yeah.
Yeah. Hypothetically, if I had an ex-wife and I found out she was hanging around with the wrong people, doing cocaine all the time, I'd be extremely pissed and I'd voice my opinion. I would. I'd be like, you're seriously doing this shit around the kids. You're bringing these people around the kids. I don't want my kids around here. Yeah.
He had kids with her?
2 kids.
Okay.
2.
That makes it totally different.
That's allegedly why he was there yelling.
Okay,
he didn't hit her that night. He didn't threaten to kill her. He didn't threaten her at all.
But was there abuse noted?
Not during that call.
Okay, but at one point he
New
did
Year's
admit
Eve, I think it was.
And they both come together in the same story that he...
Yes, they literally came together.
What happened?
I don't know the whole story. Okay. I know they both...
There was abuse.
Yeah. They both agreed to it. I don't exactly remember.
A lot of people are going to say yelling at someone is verbal abuse. You and I can handle getting yelled at. I'm just saying. Imagine Orenthal James Simpson. What was he? 6'2", 225 pounds, massive hands. That's like someone who's 7'4", 400 pounds, screaming at me. I'm going to listen to what they have to say, and I'm not in a position to defend myself. That's abuse.
Okay, but here's the thing. If she can go around hanging around with again, I don't agree with beating people, but if she can go around with these people, putting the kids in danger through this, as if the Columbia necktie is actually what happened, you saw what happened to her. She put her kids through this.
Columbia necktie is where they slice your throat.
Where they literally almost cut your neck off.
Okay.
But it's still there.
Is that what happened to her?
Or your head off. Yeah. Her head was almost severed.
Jesus.
And the thing is I think if you have the mindset, if you're able to do that, then you should be able to deal with that. You got to take consequences. Like,
so you're saying that if somebody has a drug problem, they should be able to put up with a certain amount of mental abuse.
I wouldn't consider that abuse. At this point, I would not. I would consider that looking out for the children. If I had an ex-wife that did that, I'd look out for my children first.
But what does yelling at the wife have to do with looking after your kids?
He's pissed. He had every right to be pissed.
Right. Again,
yelling put yourself in the situation.
Okay, yelling can be, or yelling can be, you fucking bitch, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you and Ron. I don't know what happened. I don't know.
But he did not threaten her, so he didn't say that stuff.
Then that's totally different. Then I see what you're saying. And I agree with you.
Like,
if I
found out, put yourself in that.
Like an ex-girlfriend was doing something questionable, I'd be like, really, bitch?
But now say you have kids with them.
I mean, dude. I have a fish with my girlfriend, and it's like sometimes she doesn't feed him, and I freak out. So I can understand.
Yeah.
If I freak out, I'd be like, come on, baby, you gotta
do it.
What's happening here?
I think it gets to mental abuse when you start threatening.
Okay.
Like, threaten physical violence. Yeah. I think that's what gets to verbal abuse, is by threatening something.
Okay.
By, like, if you do that again, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. Like, that's what I think. If it's, what the hell are you doing? You're putting our kids in this danger, blah, blah, blah.
That's not abuse.
I don't think that's abuse at all.
That's not abuse. Suggestive language becomes dispute. You're an idiot. You're trash. You're not worth anything.
That's borderline.
You deserve all this stuff.
In this topic, let's put it in these words.
We don't know what he said.
Exactly. But in this topic, that's borderline. If you're just doing it out of the blue, then yeah, that's kind of verbal abuse.
Like if somebody drops a plate and you blame their whole life, that's abuse. But that's not what happened here.
No.
She had been in a different
Allegedly what not happened.
Allegedilities.
So that's what that whole call was about. Like, when the 911 operator was... Did he threaten? Where is it? It's in here somewhere. Let's find this. Did he threaten you? No. Is he yelling? Yeah. And the other question is she's like, if I stay on the phone, he's gonna, beat the shit out of me, blah, blah, blah. And it just sounds confusing, because at first it sounds like she's in a room. And then at the end, she's like, oh no, I'm in the kitchen and he's downstairs.
You want to listen to the actual 911 phone call?
Yeah, why not? Let's listen to the actual 911 phone call.
This is brought to you by highcaliberinvestigations.org.
911 emergency. Can you get someone over here now to 325 Gretna Green? He's back. Please. Okay, what does he look like? He's O.J. Simpson. I think you know his record. Did you just send somebody over here? Hey, what is he doing there? He just drove up again. He just drove me over? Hey, wait a minute, what kind of car is he in? He's in a white Bronco. First of all, he broke the back door down to get in. Okay, wait a minute, what's your name? Nicole Simpson. Okay, is he the sportscaster or whatever? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Wait a minute, we're sending the police. What is he doing? Is he threatening you? Going nuts. Okay, has he threatened you in any way, or is he just harassing you? You're going to hear him in a minute. He's about to get on. Okay, just stay on the line. I don't want to stay on the line. He's going to beat the shit out of me. Wait a minute. Wait, just stay on the line so we can know what's going on until the police get there, okay? Okay, Nicole? Uh-huh. Just a moment. Does he have any weapons? I don't know. Okay. He went home, now he's back. Okay. I'm still sleeping and I don't want anything to happen. Okay. Has he hit you today or no? No. Okay, you don't need any paramedics or anything? Okay. You just want him to leave? My door. He broke the whole back door.
He broke the door? Forced entry?
He came down. And he came and he practically knocked my upstairs door down, but he pounded it, and then he screamed and hollered, and I tried to get him out of his bedroom because the kids were sleeping in there. Okay. And then he wanted somebody's phone number, and I gave him my phone book, and I clicked my phone book down to write down the phone number that he wanted, and took my phone book with all my stuff in it.
The dispatch.
What? What does he say?
So
that's all that had?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's another...
That was all of, like, that. Excerpt.
So here's another example of, like, different media thing is, at the end, she's literally talking about how he's banging on the bedroom door, blah, 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 blah. But as you read through the transcripts, which I have right in front of me, it said somewhere that she was in the kitchen.
Maybe she retreated to the door because she felt unsafe. She was trying to protect the kids. I know I've been in a situation like that.
She was not in the room with the kids. She said that. She's like, I would not go to the room with the kids because I didn't want them to wake up.
Dude.
It's kind of conflicting.
What kid can sleep through screaming?
Well, apparently they sleep like rocks.
That's what he said?
That's what she said.
So you can clearly hear him yelling and mad, and she's afraid. He broke down the door.
Which is another weird thing.
That's emotional abuse.
Another weird thing. How could he break down the door twice? Because there was a first 911 call when he originally showed up and broke down the door. Now you got the second 911 call where he came back and broke down the door again. How can you break down a door that's already been broken down?
Maybe she's just saying that he broke in again. Like, maybe he broke the glass, did the old movie reach around, he opened the door, then walked in. That's breaking and entering. And then when he came back, the glass was already broke, so he just opened the door again through the other side.
I mean, maybe I don't have the evidence of that.
Maybe they're just exaggerating. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't...
So at the end, the dispatcher says, is he upset with something that you did? And she said, a long time ago, it always comes up again. What is that? Did she cheat on him or something?
No, she never cheated on him.
I think that's what the whole thing was. She divorced him, and then...
Separated.
Well, no, because there was separated. Oh, okay. Either way.
They separated for like I don't remember how long, got back together, and then separated again. So,
Jesus.
Like, okay, yeah, he shouldn't have broke in, but, like, she shouldn't be putting those kids in that danger if this is the alleged talk is true. You know?
Yeah.
Like, that's just wrong of her.
So he cheated on his first wife with her in 1979.
Okay.
The marriage lasted 7 years, and they filed for divorce in 1992.
Okay. They filed, but when was it official?
I don't know, but that's divorce. When you file, that's the beginning of your divorce.
Okay.
Beginning in 1983, Brown and Simpson attempted to reconcile.
Yeah, she came back to him.
She was also a... what? She was a lesbian with a lady named Faye Resnick. And she had an affair with Simpson's good friend, fellow football player and football analyst Marcus Allen.
Alleged. I heard that was alleged.
That's one of those things about affairs it's impossible to prove.
What was the name again?
It's alleged. Which one?
The name of that girl.
The woman?
Yeah.
Faye Resnick.
Okay.
And then Marcus Allen. Allen denies the allegation, though it is backed up by multiple members of his and Brown's inner circles, such as O.J., Faye Resnick's, and confidants to Sheila Weller, Simpson's defense attorneys. So both her friends and his friends and the guy's friends said yes, they've been involved together.
Okay. Okay. Did you find something else?
I'm just reading.
Okay.
Restaurant
yeah,
waiter.
Yeah, so that's the other thing. So, that's right. That's what we were doing. We were going to go through the whole story of the day.
He's a good-looking guy.
Basically, it all started. They actually saw each other that day for the daughter's recital, and I guess it was them. They sat together, and it was them.